What is education? Books, classes, education is not that. It's beyond this. Education is a term that we have grown up listening to since we were kids. Right from the beginning of childhood till this very moment, we have been surrounded by education and its need and importance. A luxury for the rich, a necessity for the bread earner, a dream for the underprivileged, an aspiration for the suppressed, a distant reality for the inaccessible. The primary objective of education is to impart knowledge. Education also has its fair share in building the thinking capacity of people's minds. Hence, education supplies people with knowledge and facts and also encourages them to integrate that acquired knowledge into practical and professional lives via necessary training. Education, thus, also plays a primary role in supporting the economic, social, and cultural sector of a country. It's a way to change the future today. The current education system can make people easy to lead, but difficult to drive, is either all academic, all physical, all virtual, or all costly. Okay. Also, it makes easy to govern, but impossible to enslave. We cannot win over the future by sabotaging our present with extreme disparity. IIU takes great pride in saying that we're bridging the gaps in education system. We're not just academicians, but also practically oriented. We're not just limited to virtual classes, but also physical exposure. We do not dig a hole in the pockets of the students and their families. We're everything that traditional education hasn't been. IIU has already implemented and promoting the books technology. When we talk about books technology, it stands for massive, open, online courses. The word massive is to be understood in the sense that 100,000 learners or more at the same time have open and equal opportunities to attend these courses. Books are truly a tremendous technological leap, and what makes them so attractive is that they don't imply any cost to learners. IIU has tied up with more than 100 universities to provide more than 10,000 courses to the student, free of cost, with the help of books technology. We're a revolution in the making, a wind of change. Education is much more charming and intriguing than the temptations of distractions unnecessary. Our education policymakers must look into the problem to make a better system which is more practical and provides hands-on learning to the students. Who are we? The International Internship University is a virtual university with state-of-the-art curriculum, real-life industry exposure, amazing student attention, learning-oriented resources, and most of all, a commitment to make the world a better place. Why do we exist? We exist to fulfill the necessity of the bread earned. We exist to help underprivileged achieve their dreams. We exist to fuel aspirations and accessibility. We exist to provide everyone the luxury of being capable of changing the world. We really do exist to ignite young minds and make them the torchbearers of tomorrow. For a better future. For the legacy of everyone who's left us. For the hope of everyone who's yet to come. For the growth of everyone who walks this beautiful planet. We invite you to join our world-class educational team and platform with an altruistic dedication to creating a future. The change is so big that it would potentially impact millions across the world. Millions of children and youth around the world cannot wait any longer. Please join us in our effort to create the virtual learning generation, IIU, where change. Well,
good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to all our participants joining us from different parts of the world. On behalf of the International Internship University and the IIU Global Trainers Network, it's a great pleasure to welcome you today to today's professional development session, Building Personal Resilience. Resilience actually is often misunderstood as the ability to remain unaffected by pressure, uncertainty, or adversity. In reality, resilience is not about avoiding difficult experiences. It's about developing the inner capacity to adapt, recover, learn, and continue moving forward with clarity and purpose. In today's rapidly changing world, resilience is no longer simply a personal strength. It is an essential leadership ability that influences how we manage stress, navigate change, support others, and sustain our effectiveness in both our personal and professional lives. To guide us through this important topic, we are honored actually to welcome an accomplished leadership and resilience expert with more than 3 decades of professional experience. Dr. Rajesh Parekh, the seasoned leadership and resilience coach, who has supported leaders, teams, and organizations in strengthening leadership capabilities, managing change, and building resilient workplace culture. Throughout his distinguished career, actually, he has worked with leading organizations such as Steel, Bayer Crop Science, Flipkart, and many others. Dr. Parekh actually is also the author of the Amazon best-selling book, Unbreakable, 7 Habits of Highly Resilient People. His work reflects a deep commitment to helping individuals and teams, not merely just to cope with the challenge, but to grow and thrive through them. He holds master's degree in change management and organizational development from Harvard Business School in the United Kingdom and has supported many organizations through complex process of change and transformation. He is also a visiting faculty member at the Mulgrew Institutes of Management and the Simpson Institute of Business, as well as the mentor of the MD program of the Bombay Chamber of Commerce and Industry. His experience is further strengthened by professional certification from respected international institutions. Beyond resilience, Dr. Rajesh facilitates leadership development interventions in areas such as strategic thinking, growth mindset, and executive presence, business feedback, and organizational culture. We are truly honored to have him with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a warm international welcome to our distinguished speaker, Dr. Rajesh Parekh. It's a great pleasure to welcome you. The virtual stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Maha. Thank you very much. So first of all, I'd like to sincerely thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to our participants over here. It is indeed my pride and pleasure to be with you today. Thank you so much for that. Uh, Talking to everyone, I may request some of you at least to come on camera so that before I get started, I can just get a feel of everyone around, and I can actually imagine that I'm talking to people rather than the entire screen which is there. Yes, Dr. Sajad, I can see you the first who is there.
Yes.
What
Hi,
about
sir. How
some
are you doing?
others? I'm very fine, thank you. What about others? Maybe in the next 1 or 2 minutes, if I can see some more people, it'll really be nice to get started off with a lot of energy and enthusiasm in this particular session
Yeah,
on building personal
exactly.
resilience. Yeah. So before I get started, I would just like to know from some of you as to what does this word resilience mean to you? Yeah. Can I know maybe from some of you, what
Yes,
does
sir.
this word
This
resilience mean to you?
the resilient word I have used in my research paper, the paper I have published for my PhD.
Uh-huh.
We used for the professional development for the teachers when we face a
Okay.
lot of problems such as time management, financial
Okay.
problems, and
Okay.
training. We are unable to get the participants and many, many,
Mm-hmm.
many more. In that
Okay.
time, we face little bit confusion and lack of
Okay. Okay.
motivations when we try to do our work on time and try to manage
Mm-hmm.
our things,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter how
Mm-hmm.
we are tired and we are
Okay.
yeah, doesn't matter how much we are tired and we are working on our schedules,
True.
we are doing our time. Doesn't matter how we are
True.
feeling and we are doing our personal life well or not. We are spending on our self time, our family, but
Absolutely.
the work we are doing, the work we are doing on time, things are going very well. Our professional sides is not
Yes.
affecting by our personal matters. That
Right.
are the resilience. I think every educator and every
Absolutely.
teacher have must has these things, otherwise we are
Absolutely.
unable to focus on these things. That I have published my paper and I do on that things, and fortunately I
Mm-hmm.
have defended my PhD in this year.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you very much for sharing those thoughts, Dr. Sajad Hussain. And he's
Oh,
absolutely right. You know, life is full of uncertainty which is there. There can be so many things which can actually come up in front of us. And if we develop the ability to face anything which comes up in front of us, that is something which makes us resilient. It is very rightly said that if the sea is smooth, then we will not be able to make a very good sailor. But if the sea is rough, then you will see that the capability of the sailor definitely will keep on increasing. So, with little brief introduction, let me welcome all of you all to this session on building personal resilience. For the next maybe about an hour or so, I'll talk to you about what is resilience, what is the neuroscience of resilience, what are some ways by which we can build resilience, some immediate ways, and maybe some long term methods also. So, with this, then, let's move ahead. And first of all, let's talk about life and work today. As all of you know, that in life and work, just like Doctor explained right now, in life and work, we all have our struggles. If I ask any of you, we all have our own different struggles which are there. There could be struggles which are related to work. There could be struggles which are related to the technology which we use. There could be struggles which are related maybe to the work-life balance which we may have. And there could also be struggles which could be related to our relationships. So struggles are definitely a part of our day-to-day life. Now, when we talk about struggle, what happens to us when we actually struggle? For this, I'd like to show you a picture. Now, this picture is a picture of a traffic jam. I'm sure whichever country you are dialing in from, I'm sure we all have experienced this type of a traffic jam, isn't it? Now, this is a very similar type of a jam which occurs to us when we experience struggle. So, struggle, what does it do? It leads to stress. But if we have been able to build enough resilience, then we will be able to manage any struggle like Dr. Sajid just mentioned right now. We'll be able to manage any struggle which comes up in front of us. And then, if we are able to manage the struggle, we are then also able to manage the associated stress which is related to the struggle. So, to be able to live a very happy and healthy life, it's very important for us to be able to build personal resilience. And that's the reason why we are talking about this topic today. Yeah, so with this, I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to this short session on building personal resilience. Let's get started off by defining resilience. So, what is resilience all about? Now, when we talk about resilience, I'd like to give all of you a simple three-word definition. And if you remember this definition for life, this is something which will really help you develop that resilience. The simple three-word definition of resilience is advancing despite adversity. So, whenever we develop that ability to continue advancing towards the goals which we have set for ourselves, despite any challenging situation which comes up in front of us, any adversity which comes up in front of us, any obstacle or any setback which comes up in front of us, that is called as resilience. So, simple three-word definition: advancing despite adversity. If we are able to do that, then yes, we can say that we have built enough personal resilience. Now, when we talk about resilience, it's very important for us first to understand the neuroscience of resilience. Because unless we don't understand what is happening within our brain, we may not be able to build enough resilience. So, let's talk a little bit about neuroscience. I'd like to introduce you to two parts within our brain. The first part within our brain, which I'd like to introduce you to, is what we call as the reactive part of our brain. The reactive part. Now, the reactive part is the part which is always scanning for danger. The reactive part is the part which produces emotions within us. And the reactive part of the part is the one which immediately gets activated whenever we encounter any challenge, any setback, any difficult situation. Now, whenever this reactive part of the brain gets stimulated, it leads to some hormonal as well as some physical changes within us. Hormonal changes. So it leads to the release of two hormones, stress hormones, we call them as, which are adrenaline and cortisol. Now, adrenaline and cortisol, whenever they get released, it leads to four changes within us. Number one, it increases our heart rate. Number two, it increases our blood pressure. Number three, it increases our muscle tension. And number four, it increases our acid production in the stomach. So these are some things which happen to us whenever we encounter any challenging situation, any setback, or any obstacle. And this then does not allow us to think properly. It makes us react. It makes us do things in a spontaneous manner without thinking. And many times we don't take the right action because we act under the influence of the reactive brain. Over here now, let me introduce you to the second part of the brain, which is called as the smart brain. Now, the smart brain is our executive center. The smart brain is the brain which actually helps us think. It helps us take a decision. It helps us manage our emotions, and it helps us understand what is it that I need to do so that I can come out of this challenging situation. I can manage the obstacle. I can manage the setback, and I can manage any situation which comes up in front of me. So, what does neuroscience tell us? Neuroscience tells us that it's very important for us to develop connections between our reactive brain and our smart brain. So, whenever any such situation which comes up in front of us, we need to immediately recognize that we are operating from the reactive brain, and we need to take some action by which we are able to reduce the effect of the reactive brain, and we are able to move to the smart brain, wherein we will be able to handle the situation in a calm and composed manner, in a manner in which we will be able to get the best of the outcome. How do we do that? We do that simply by making sure that we reduce the two hormones which have already gone up, and that is adrenaline and cortisol. And how do we bring the adrenaline and cortisol down? Number one, by managing the heart rate which has gone up. So by taking a pause, we are able to manage the heart rate. By managing the blood pressure which has gone up, by sitting down, relaxing for a moment, we are able to manage that. By managing the muscle tension which has gone up, again by relaxing a little bit, we are able to do that. And finally, managing the acid which has gone up. So by simply drinking a glass of water, we will be able to bring down that. If we are able to reduce all of this within our system, we will then be able to move to the smart brain, which will enable us to take that appropriate action necessary in any challenging situation. So understanding of this neuroscience is very critical before we see what is it that we can do so that we can become more resilient. Having understood all of this now, let's move ahead and let's talk about how is it that we build resilience. When we talk about building resilience, there are certain things which we need to do on an immediate basis. So that is called as the immediate measures. But there are certain things have to on a long basis, on a regular basis, on a day-to-day basis. So that immediate measures, the first immediate measure is what we need to do is we need to see how is it that we can become a more focused person. Because I'm sure you would have realized that whenever we experience a stressful situation, we tend to lose our focus. We tend to lose concentration. We are not able to do the things which we have set out to do in the best manner possible. So it's very important for us to regain our focus. Now, how do we regain our focus? We regain our focus, number one, by removing all distractions which are there in front of us. In today's life, we are full of distractions, digital distractions, as I'm sure you would have seen, even on the roads when people are walking, they're busy looking at their mobile phones. So there is a lot of distractions which we have through our digital devices. So it's important for us to regain our focus by completely removing all distractions, by removing all notifications, by making sure that we are able to focus on whatever we are doing right now. So if we are able to remove the distractions, we will then be able to put our concentration to the task which is there. And we will be able to see how is it that I can come out of this particular situation which is there. Now, one more reason why people tend to lose focus is because they tend to multitask a lot. So my recommendation always is to see how is it that you can, instead of multitasking, start monotasking, which will help you become a more focused person. So that's the first thing which we have to do as an immediate measure, regain your focus. The second important thing which we need to do in a situation, in a challenging situation or a stressful situation, is to see how is it that we can regain our energy. Because many times when these situations come up, it leads to exhaustion, it leads to fatigue, and it able to think properly. Okay. So it's very important for us to see how is it that we can regain our energy. Now, to regain our energy, we just need to see how is it that we follow an acronym which is called as RUM, R-U-M. R simply means rest for some time. So if we on a regular basis take a little bit of rest, scientifically it has been seen that we need to take a little rest after every 90 minutes. Consequences if I am not able to accomplish this. And that's the reason why it's very important to manage our fear. Most of the times we tend to overestimate the problem and underestimate our ability to actually deal with the problem. We all are very capable people. And yes, through our years of experience, we have developed the ability to deal with problems. So let us have more faith on our ability, on our competency, on our skills, and let us not try to magnify the problems which keep on coming up in front of us. So fear, have faith in your ability that yes, you will be able to do it. Take the first step and you're able to go through or manage the situation in the best manner possible. So as measures, one, we regain our focus. Two, we need to regain energy. And third, we need to we need to see how is it that we can eliminate the fear associated with any of these situations. This is the first part of immediate measures. The second part of I'd like to give you so that you develop what we call as a resilient mindset. We all have heard of different mindset, isn't it? Positive mindset, negative mindset, growth mindset, fixed mindset. So today I would like to introduce you to something which we call as a resilient mindset. And I'd like to give you a 3A framework, which you can apply in any situation which comes up in front of you to be able to demonstrate a resilient mindset. So what is the 3A framework? The 3A framework says step number one is whenever something happens, it's very important for us not to stay in the stage of denial for a very long period of time. So the first step is to accept that yes, something wrong has happened. There is a challenge which has happened. There is a setback which has happened. There is an obstacle which has happened. Accept whatever has. The next is adapt. So once we accept that yes, something has happened, we then need to see what is it that we can do so that we can adapt to the new situation which has come up in front of us. And after having adapted to the new situation which comes up in front of us, we then take the next step of advancing towards the goals which we have set for ourselves. So these 3 A's, ladies and gentlemen, let me assure you, they will help you pass through any situation which you may come up in front of your life. Accept, adapt, and advance. So these are some of the immediate measures which we take while we are handling any challenging situation which comes up in front of us. Now, let me introduce you to some long-term proactive measures which you can take so that you are able to develop proactive resilience, so that you are able to prepare yourself for any challenging situation which may come up in front of us, so that when that situation happens, you are able to remain calm and composed. You are able to handle that situation in the best manner possible. These measures are 6, and I'd like to introduce you to all the 6 measures. The first measure is developing a vision. The second is composure. The third is reasoning. I'll talk about all of them in detail. The fourth is health. The fifth is tenacity. And the sixth is collaboration. So these are what I call as the 6 domains of resilience. If we are able to strengthen ourselves in these 6 domains of resilience, ladies and gentlemen, let me assure you that you will be able to prepare yourself for any adverse condition which can come up in front of you. Let's talk about the first one, and that is vision. When we talk about vision, it is all about developing a sense of purpose. It is all about having clear goals. It is all about having that direction where you want to go. Because if we have a direction in front of us, then there is nothing which can stop us. Yes, it may deter us for a few moments, but we will still progress in the direction which we have set for ourselves. If a person is determined that I want to climb Mount Everest, they will do it despite the challenging situations which come up in front of us, but eventually they will do it. Okay, so vision is something which is very important for each and every one of us. When we develop that strong vision, it propels us towards our goals despite the challenges which come up in front of us. I'd like to give you an example. There is a TED talk by a person called as Bhakti Sharma. You can see this TED talk. This TED talk says how swimming helped me build resilience. So Bhakti Sharma is an open water swimmer, and she says that when she decided to swim across the Antarctic Ocean, so she's the one who has swam in most of the oceans, but when she decided to swim across the Antarctic Oceans, whatever problems were there were all in the mind, because her goal was absolutely clear. She wanted to cross it and she did it. She said whatever the challenges were there, they were all the inner challenges which were there as compared to the external challenges. The external challenges were nothing, but the moment she made up her mind the moment she was clear about the vision, she was able to accomplish this feat. Okay, so vision is all about setting a resilient vision for yourself and identifying your professional as well as your personal goals and priorities. If we have clarity about our goals in all aspects of our life, then we will be able to progress towards them, come what may in front of us. That's the first domain, and that is vision. The second domain is a very important one, and that is about emotional intelligence. It is about composure. It is about having that internal awareness through which we are able to regulate our emotions, we are able to manage any stressful situation, and we are able to remain calm and completely in control despite anything happening in front of us. So, composure is all about remaining calm and composed. It is about developing emotional intelligence. Here, I would like to give you an example of Thomas Edison. So when Thomas Edison's entire manufacturing unit, and you can check this on Google, there are detailed stories about when Edison's entire manufacturing unit was damaged by fire. He stayed calm. And when the reporters asked him, how can he stay calm when his entire manufacturing unit was damaged? He said, there is value in disaster. And although I am 67 years old right now, I will start all over again from tomorrow morning and make a fresh start. This is what he told all the
Yes.
reporters. Yeah. So over here, ways in which by which we are able to develop composure is to see how is it that we are able to manage our emotions. And this can happen by practicing mindfulness. It can happen by practicing deep breathing on a regular basis. So, my recommendation is that every morning, do at least 10 minutes of meditation, 10 minutes of deep breathing. And if you do these 10 minutes of meditation, 10 minutes of deep breathing every morning, this is something which will help you maintain your adrenaline and cortisol, the stress hormones which we spoke about earlier. It will maintain the release of these stress hormones throughout the day. You will not release them as much if you don't do deep breathing and meditation in the morning. But if we make this a practice of doing deep breathing and mindfulness every single morning, here is something which will really help you manage your emotions much better. Your reactive brain will definitely get stimulated, but it will definitely be able to shift to the smart brain much, much more faster if we practice deep breathing and mindfulness every day. Second is to see how is it that we demonstrate emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, as all of you know, is the ability to recognize our emotions and to be able to manage them. And at the same time, recognize the other person's emotions and to help them also manage them in the best manner possible. So if we are able to do that, then we will be able to remain calm and composed. And how can we do that? Simply by recognizing our triggers. What is it that really triggers us? If we are able to recognize our triggers, we will be able to manage our triggers. And if we are able to manage our triggers, we are able to then demonstrate emotional intelligence. The third domain which is there is the domain of reasoning. Now, reasoning is a very, very important domain because this domain speaks about problem solving. It speaks about being prepared. It speaks about managing change. It speaks about anticipating challenges and it speaks about planning. So these are some very important skills which we all need to develop. When I talk about resilience, just like emotional intelligence, I talk about resilience intelligence. So resilience intelligence is a combination of IS and ES. IS is your inner state and ES is the external skills which we can develop so as to develop resilience. Now, external skills are skills like problem solving, planning, preparation, managing change. All these are external skills which are there. And if we are able to develop these external skills, we can build personal resilience. Here, I'd like to give you an example of the time when Maggie noodles was banned in the country. So in India, sometime back, Maggie noodles was banned because of lead content which was found over there. Now, this is the time when Suresh Narayanan, who is the CMD of Nestle, was called to solve this particular problem. So he understood the problem. He understood how this has happened. And he initially recalled the total stock, complete stock from the market because this was a food product which was consumed by children. And that's the reason why he took an immediate decision of recalling the total stock. He then slowly and steadily, gradually started building trust of consumers through a branding strategy and finally successfully relaunched the Maggie noodles. And today, Maggie noodles is back to where it was earlier. Now, all this he did because of his problem solving skills, because of his skill to anticipate the challenges, because of his skills to be able to plan a successful strategy, and because of the skills to make sure that he is able to handle any situation in the best manner possible. So, this is about reasoning. In reasoning, a very important skill which all of us can develop is the skill which is called as visualization. So when we are about to take up a project, or maybe we are about to conduct a meeting, or we are able to have a discussion, it is very important for us to beforehand visualize as to what is it that probably may go wrong. Now, if we have been able to visualize what is it that we can go wrong, then we can proactively take certain steps, which can then help us already be prepared if it eventually goes wrong. Now, if we are prepared, we are able to handle the situation well. While if we have not visualized and if something wrong happens, then we will not be able to manage the situation in the best manner possible. So I'd really like each and every one of you to develop this skill of visualization, where you are able to visualize beforehand and see what is it that can go wrong. The second is to be able to build your resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is to be able to develop a repository by which at any time we want any information which is there, we are able to get that information. Yes, today in the times of AI, it definitely has become much, much more easier. But if we are able to work our skills toward becoming more resourceful, it will help us find it in a much more better manner. Beliefs is something which can make us probably act in ways in which it may not be helpful to us. So we will have to explore maybe some irrational beliefs which we may be having related to certain topics and change our beliefs, which can then help us manage situations in a better way. And finally, managing change. We have to understand that whenever change happens, people generally have a tendency to go into denial. But if we have been able to develop the ability to come out of denial, then we will not resist the change. We will accept the change, we will adapt to the change, and we will move further ahead in the best manner possible. So, this is the domain of reasoning, which, if we are able to strengthen, we will definitely become very good at problem solving, planning, anticipating challenges, and being resourceful. Next domain is a foundational domain, and this domain is all about health. So, it's very important for us to be healthy so as to be able to make sure that we are able to develop the mental strength. It is very rightly said that a healthy mind can be in a healthy body. So, health is all about your nutrition, the quality of sleep, and regular exercises. Okay. I, many years back, had developed a cardiac condition. And that is the time when I went on a complete lifestyle management program, which included an exercise regime and a balanced diet plan. Now, due to this, I could sleep well, I could lose weight also at that time, and all the medical parameters they came to normal in just a few months. And ever since then, I have been practicing that every single day, even today, ensuring that I'm able to remain completely healthy. So it's very important for us to make sure that we ensure we have good, healthy habits. After this, the next domain is all about tenacity. So good sleep, exercise, and nutrition makes us healthy. Do a regular medical checkup by which you are able to make sure that you are able to diagnose any health related matters as early as possible. The next domain is about tenacity or bouncing back. Here is a domain which is about building unshakable strength of persistence. Here is a domain which ensures that we remain self motivated despite challenges which come up in front of us. We develop that ability to bounce back, not only bounce back, but we also develop the ability to bounce forward. We make sure that we make our comeback stronger than the setback. We are able to come back much, much stronger than what was also there earlier. So here is the ability to bounce back. There was a movie which was there, which was called as Saina, where one of the world champions, Saina Nehwal, she demonstrated unshakable sense of persistence. Coaches did not accept her, but she still demonstrated that persistence, went on moving to a different coach and saw how is it that still she can become a world champion. Okay, which led to her success. So what I'd like to recommend over here is for you to develop a sense of optimism, positive attitude. And when you develop that sense of optimism or positive attitude, you are then able to look at things in a very positive manner. Stay motivated during a setback because motivation is something which helps us bounce back faster. And yes, I'd really like us all to see how is it that we can always learn from the mistakes which we have made because mistakes are our best teachers. The next important thing which comes when we talk about bouncing back or tenacity is time management. Time is a limited resource. All of us have only 24 hours in a day, and we should be able to see how we are able to make the best out of those 24 hours. So managing our time well helps us bounce back, helps us demonstrate tenacity, helps us in, in ensuring that we are able to make the maximum utilization of those 24 hours which are there. And it helps us then build resilience. The last domain, a very important domain, and this domain is all about collaboration. It is all about developing social support systems which can be helpful to us, is being aware of the social context and investing time into building meaningful relationships. So there was a movie which was called as Uchai, where there are three friends who decide that they want to go to the base camp of Mount Everest. And while they face a lot of difficulty because of each other supporting each other, and because of taking support of other people also, they were eventually able to reach the base camp. So, support really plays a very important role in building resilience. If at the back of our mind, we have this thought that yes, there is enough support which I have, which can be useful to me in my times of difficulty, then yes, we are able to definitely develop mental strength and we are able to build resilience. So, build trust. How do you do this? It's important for us to build trust with people around us. Develop social skills, invest time into building relationships, find a mentor and a coach. And yes, if we are able to do this, then we are able to build personal resilience. So we have seen six domains, and if we all are able to strengthen ourselves in these six domains, we will then be able to build enough resilience. I'd like to leave you all with a regime which I follow. And I'd also like to share that regime with you. If you do this daily routine which is there, I'm sure you will be able to proactively build resilience and you'll be able to handle any situation which comes up in front of you. And as I said, I follow this regime, and that's why I recommend this daily regime to you. So, yes, number one, first thing in the morning, as soon as you get up, hydrate yourself. Drink a lot of water, which can then be hydrating you. When you get up in the morning, don't reach out for your phone the first thing. The first thing which you must do is to express gratitude. Express gratitude for the life which you have. Express gratitude for the good people you have. Express gratitude for whatever you have in your life. Thereafter, we must spend time in making some affirmations, positive affirmations, which can then help us develop or attract the right things towards us in our life. So, morning gratitude and affirmation is something which we should do even before touching our phones. Generally, we have a tendency to reach out for our phones, but let's not do that. Let's express gratitude and say affirmations the first thing in the morning. Thereafter, as I told you, meditation, breathing exercises, as well as some physical activity is what I recommend. Thereafter, have a healthy breakfast. Don't leave your house without having a healthy breakfast. And yes, if you have had enough healthy breakfast, you will have a lot of energy in the morning hours to be able to do your work in the best manner possible. The next thing which I'd like to tell you is to focus. Focus on where you are. If you're at work, focus on work. If you're at home, focus on home. Work and life requires you to give your complete focus wherever you are. Boundaries. Don't be afraid to create and communicate certain boundaries for yourself, because don't let anybody take advantage of you. Don't spend time beyond boundaries which are there, because when we go beyond boundaries, it may affect our relationships, it may affect our health, it may affect our work, it may affect all aspects of our life. No distractions while working. Have a specific time for checking your phone, your WhatsApp messages, etc. But see to it that whenever you're working with complete focus. Disable notifications. This is something which has really been helpful to me. And I'm sure if you do that, it will be helpful to you also. Do not multitask. Multitask on simple things. Simple things like walking. At walking, you can listen to music. That's fine. But otherwise, when you're doing important tasks, monotask. Focus on one thing at a time and see how fast you are able to complete that. Before any project or meeting, set an intention for full participation. Don't allow anything to distract you. Ensure that you are present over there. Mindfully make sure that you are mindful about it and practice mindfulness at that time. Be present over there and you will be able to get the best out of it. One technique which I would recommend to you in any stressful situation is a technique called as stop. STOP. Whenever you experience a stressful situation, stop. Whatever you are doing, take a deep breath, take a pause. Observe yourself. Observe that your heart rate has come down. You're feeling normal again, BP, muscle tension less, everything is less. Once you feel that you're back to normal, then proceed. And now go ahead and handle the situation. You will be able to handle it in the best manner possible. Every 90 minutes, take a 5-minute break. And this is something which will prevent brain fatigue from. So this is my routine, and I'd like to recommend this routine to you also. When it comes to resilience, I keep on publishing a lot of newsletters on resilience every week after week after week. And I would have published more than 189 newsletters till today on LinkedIn. So if you'd like to learn more about resilience, learn more about how is it that you can build a personal resilience, then I invite you to connect with me. And I'm sure you will be able to get a lot of information from the 189 newsletters on resilience only, which I've written till now. So yes, in case, so the last thing which was written over here is sleep early, early to bed and early to rise. And yes, in case you'd like to connect, then I'm happy to connect with you. But I would really like each and every one of you to take a decision to act today. Don't wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes. Make a decision that whatever you do, you will do from today onwards. And if you make this decision, let me tell you, this will be the best decision of your life. Okay. Just in case you'd like to connect with me, please do so. I'll now stop presenting. This is the newsletter which I produce regularly. This is my newsletter which is there. I'll be happy to connect with each and every one of you. Thank you so much for listening to me. I know that this has been a one-way talk which is there, but I was just wanting to complete it before I before I invite you for questions and answers. So thank you very
Professor,
much everyone for listening to me. Let me have questions from each and every one of you. Happy to answer.
Professor, first of all, thank you very much for such a wonderful experience we got from you. It's really a lot for us. And I have a question, sir. Is resilient always work, or sometimes we are working? We are running on wrong road, like we are not on our path. We are working in wrong thing. That is not for our cup of tea. At that time, resilience work, or just we need to quit, or we need to see a mentor. Then we need to show the resilience or something like that.
Thank you for the question, doctor. This decision we will not be able to make if we are taking the decision from the reactive part of our brain. Then we will always keep on wondering whether I should do this, not do this is right for me, wrong for me. So my recommendation is that we need to move from the reactive brain to the smart brain. After having come to the smart brain, we will then be able to do an analysis of whether whatever we are doing, are we doing in the right direction or we are not doing in the right direction. If we take that decision from the smart brain that this is something which is not right for me, then yes, go ahead and take that decision and change that path which is necessary. But if your smart brain tells you that keep on persisting and you will definitely be able to see results, then please persist. Okay. I have done it in the past. There was a path which was there, which I had taken, did not work well. I changed path. And yes, that led to success. But at times, you have to persist and you have to make sure if your smart brain tells you keep persisting, please continue to do that. I hope I have answered your question, Dr. Sajal.
Yes, sir. It's
Take that decision from the smart brain.
yeah, sir. I have a question. We are students and we are working on something for a long period of things are not working. Let's say we are learning any new language, things are not working, we are resilient, things are, but our minds start asking, this is not my cup of tea, this is not my cup of tea. Do we need to decide ourselves, or do we need to consult with our senior mentors or in academic who use advisors, supervisor, guide? Do we need to decide by ourselves, or we need to connect with
You are the doctor. So I would definitely say that you can take a decision by yourself. But if you are in a dilemma and you are not able to take that decision, then please do not hesitate in contacting a coach or a mentor who then will be able to guide you into helping you understand what could be the correct path for you. Okay, so do not hesitate in taking the support of a coach or a mentor at the right time, if at all you feel that this dilemma is too much for you to handle.
Thank you, Dr. Rajesh, for your
Yes, hello. Hello,
yes.
madam.
Yes,
Yes,
in
this is
case
Jack
you would
from.
like to raise a question, feel free to do that. But just reminder to fill in the attendance link to receive your certificates in order to avoid any confusion later on after the session. So if you please, I just dropped the attendance link on the chat box. So please don't leave before doing that. Now, if you please, yes, you can ask your question and we will be very happy if we're going to see your face too. Yes? Yes, feel free to ask.
Yes, hello, madam.
Hello.
Hello, this is Jack from Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, located in West Africa. I would like to thank you for that insightful and impactful webinar. My question is to Dr. Rajit. I would like to come. Sorry, I would like him to come back to the, let's say, the part talking about the brain and just a minute. The smart brain and the reactive brain. Could he come back to that part and explain it a bit more, because I did not catch it very well. Thank you.
All right. Maybe in short, I'll just explain once again for the benefit of everyone. So, when we talk about resilience, it's important for us to understand the reactive part of our brain and the smart part of our brain. The general tendency whenever we experience a stressful situation is the reactive part of the brain immediately gets stimulated because the reactive part of the brain is always scanning for danger. Please remember, what is the function of the reactive part of the brain? It scans for
Always
danger.
planning for dangerous.
Yeah. So whenever there is a challenge, whenever there is a setback, whenever there is a difficulty, whenever there is any stress, the reactive brain perceives it as danger. And that is the time when it releases cortisol, adrenaline, and all the bodily changes happen. But when all this happens to you, your brain then becomes foggy. We are not able to think correctly. We are not able to take the right decision. We may land up taking the wrong decision. We tend to act spontaneously without thinking. So at that moment, it's very important for us to shift from the reactive brain to the smart brain. If we are able to shift from the reactive brain to the smart brain, we will then be able to relax ourselves. We will be calm and composed. And when we are calm and composed, all the fogginess in your brain settles down. It's like a bucket of water. In the bucket of water, if there is a lot of dust, it's foggy. The bucket of water looks muddy. But if you just take a couple of minutes to allow the mud to settle down, the water becomes clear. Just like that, if you move from the reactive to the smart brain, the fog settles down and there is clarity. Clarity to think, what can I do? What is the next step I can take in a challenging situation? Okay, so that is the function of the smart brain. I hope that this time it was more clear to you.
Thank you, Dr. Rajesh.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. It's now clear. And thank you, dear Madam Ma, for for everything. Thank you. I'm already feeling very.
You're welcome. Any other question? In case anyone would like just feel to raise a certain question,
Either
feel free to do that.
either question or you could even give a feedback. That's also acceptable. Absolutely.
Yes.
We hope you enjoyed the session. Yes.
Yes, I really enjoy it.
Thank you
Can we
all.
listen to others? Yes.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
Professor. Sir, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your feedback and everything. Thank you, sir. I hope we'll meet again, and I'll join your other Zoom's meeting or something like that.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So I would like to thank you very much, Dr. Rajesh, for being with us today for this insightful, practical, and thought-provoking session. Today, you showed us that resilience is not an abstract concept or a fixed personality trait. It is a capability that can be intentionally strengthened through awareness, consistent practice, and conscious choice. Your explanation of the neuroscience of resilience help us understand that our response to pressure are not permanent. We can train ourselves to manage a challenge in healthier and more constructive way. The 3A framework, accept, adapt, and advance, gave us a clear and memorable approach. Accept the reality before us. Adapt our minds and action. Advance with purpose and the greater awareness. You also reminded us that resilience shouldn't be built only during a crisis. The proactive measures you highlighted, such as vision, reasoning, health, etc., and collaboration, must be developed through our everyday habits, decisions, and relationships. On behalf of International Internship University and IIU Global Trainers Network, we sincerely thank you for sharing your experience and valuable knowledge with our international community. We also thank all our participants for joining us today. Before we're going to close the session, I would like to leave you with two powerful thoughts. Resilience is not built only in the moment of a crisis. It is built through the habit we practice before the crisis arrives. Accept the reality, adapt your response, advance with intention. Our call to action is simple. Within the next 24 hours, Choose one measure discussed today and take one specific step to strengthen it. When you face your next challenge, ask yourself, what must I accept? How can I adapt? What will help me advance? Let us leave this session not only inspired, but ready to act. Thank you once again, Dr. Rajesh, for being with us today. May we all continue to accept, adapt, and advance. Good evening, everyone,
Absolutely.
and hopefully we're going to meet soon with our next session.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. It was really a pleasure for me. And if everyone comes on the screen, maybe we can take a group picture also.
Yes, if you please, but I don't know our audience today. They are not showing their faces, so if you please.
Can everybody please come on the camera
Yes,
just for 1 minute?
yes, if you
30
please.
seconds also. 30 seconds is good enough to take a
Yeah.
picture.
Yes, just 1 second to have a group photo.
Yeah, just 1 second actually. It doesn't take more time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whom else?
We can see some cameras.
Ladies, usually ladies are not motivated to do. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So anyone else would like just to open your cam? So it's going to be a great pleasure to see your faces. Okay.
Yes,
No problem.
yes, 1 second.
Yes, just give us 30 seconds to get prepared.
Yes,
30 seconds to get prepared, please.
We have more volunteers to do. Yes.
30 seconds, he said. Yes, 30 seconds is.
Yes. Hi, Dr. Tara. It's a great pleasure to meet you.
Hi, thank you as well. And thank you for your insightful session. It was great.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Hi, Dr. Janet. It's a great pleasure to have with us today also.
Thank you, doctor.
You can see the importance of the camp. We can have just a direct interaction.
Really, it's an interesting. Thank you, doctor.
My pleasure.
All
My
the things
pleasure.
that you talked about. We all need that. Thank you.
Yeah, especially
Very
Lebanese people. We all know the importance of being a Lebanese people from the south of Lebanon. I know exactly.
We are survivors.
Exactly.
We
I
are
know
survivors.
exactly the importance of resilience in our life. If we're not resilient, we're not able to survive because we're fighting actually, unfortunately, every day here. So thank you for your guidelines, for your advices. Anyone else? Jinan, it's a great pleasure to meet you also. Yes. So Dr. Rajesh, I think that's the number. If you can take the photo before we're going to end the session and you have your final comment for today. Leave
Thank
us
you so much.
with final advice.
Yes. Okay. So once again, let's not wait for crisis to happen.
Exactly.
Let us proactively build enough resilience so that we are able to handle any challenge which comes up in front of us with a smiling face.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone. Enjoy your time and thank you again for joining. Goodbye, everyone. See you in our next session.
Goodbye. See you soon.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.